You just remind me. So the recording is starting, and I want to change the transcription. Just a second there. Stop transcription. Okay, so can you go back? Can you see my screen with the session for today? So we went through the introductions. Now I'm going through the platform. Okay. Talking about platforms. So this one that we are using now, called Teams, it's one of them. I don't know if you're all familiar with the platform, but you have some functions on the top that says you can raise your hand if you want to talk. You can put reactions and there is a chat as well. Sometimes I will place some information on the chat if it's necessary, but now in terms of raising the hand or if you want to talk, I don't mind if you interrupt me, okay? So most of this class, it will be me talking. I hope you don't get tired of that, but there will be sometimes some moments that I will be kind of ask for your participation or ask some questions, but don't worry. Okay, so this is not a tricky one. You'll be fine. Now, the other platform that we're going to be using is WhatsApp. Now, the WhatsApp, it's only for us to communicate to each other in terms of, oh, the class is starting, or any questions that is around, okay? I will ask you to bear in mind to keep the chat like as like not that easy, okay? Because of time zones or some people at kind of different times, and then you kind of look at the WhatsApp, there is a notification there, but it's actually not for me or general. If you have a question, you can text me directly on WhatsApp. And if I see that that question is relevant to the entire group, and then I move that conversation to WhatsApp, okay? But the WhatsApp group, I'm not going to delete in the future. You can still talk to each other because want it or not, you're now attached to each other. You belongs to the class 1st of July 2025 AST course. Okay, so I still remember people, my colleagues from my class in 2013. That was just a couple of years ago. So yes, you're now a kind of part of your own family, and I'm here, as I said, to support you. So feel free to continue this communication between yourselves. Okay. So now, the most important app or platform that we are going to be using is Google Classroom. Okay. And I'm saying that because it's where I'm going to be placing some assignments. Assignments, they are kind of homeworks. So I'm going to go through Google Classroom briefly so you can understand a little how it works. Anyone has no clue about Google Classroom? You can raise your hand with the button that you never heard about Google Classroom. Okay, Mohammed. Carolina? No, never heard? No? Oh my God. Well, you're gonna get used to Google Classroom in the next 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure. It's very easy to use, okay? When you go to Google Classroom, what you see is not necessarily what I see. So as a teacher, my vision is different because I kind of see the background of this specific class. Google Classroom, it's you can lower your hands if you want. Google Classroom is a platform mainly for this kind of situation that we have a course and we want to do some assignments, some tests. Who said anything about tests? Yeah, there is. Uh, who wants? So it's easy to manage. You can upload stuffs and you can access to this information later. So it's actually very handy. Okay, I hope you enjoy it and maybe you can use in the future too. Okay, so in the Google Classroom, you have this little guy called Stream. Now, as you probably realize that already, Stream It's not what it looks like. It's just a wall of notifications. Basically, if there is a chat going on or anything that is happening in Google Classroom, it will show there. For example, later on today, you will see on stream, these assignments has been released. Do you know what I mean? So you can see on stream these wall notifications of what's been going on. Not as important what is coming next, okay? Classwork. They don't get scared. Classwork. There's a lot of work to do for the next 3 weeks. Okay, all of that is coming on your way. No worries, because I staggered that in little pieces, and you can make a note of that now. Okay, every every Tuesday for the next 3 Tuesdays we have a class. Just after that, the class, you will get a bunch of assignments. These assignments, they have a due date. The due date is for the coming Friday. So whatever assignment goes out today has to be done by this coming Friday. If I'm not wrong, it's the 4th. On the 4th, there was another bunch of assignments going to go on your way and needs to be done prior the class on next Tuesday. And then we keep going. Next Tuesday, after the class, you get more assignments and needs to be done by Friday again. And then from Friday to the following Tuesday, and then we are done. But again, no worries. They are not as many, but they are divided in a way that you can actually manage. Now, you can do them all at once, or you can wait for the last minute, or you can accumulate for next week. I won't advise that. Okay? So as they come out, start doing it. And if you have any questions, the main idea of you to get your assignments done prior our class next week is because if we have any questions or anything to discuss with the group, we can do that in our class. Deal? Everybody? Yes, deal. Okay, I'm not going to be chasing anyone. Have you done your assignments? Have you done your tests? Did you pass your test? So, no, I'm not going to do that. We are all the adults here. So, but if by the end of the course you haven't done your assignments and you haven't passed your tests, and then we have a problem. But I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. And how do I know that? Well, because in here, there is this area that is called grades. Once the assignment goes out, right now it's empty. But I actually gonna show you another one. Let's show this one, just for your curiosity. So if I go to grades, I can see if you've done late or if it's missing. This is how I see. I will see all your names down here, and then I will see all the assignments there, and if it's done or if it's not. Okay? Very important. And again, take note if you can. Okay? Because for some reason, every course I keep receiving the same questions again and again and again. When you do your assignments, so you click on the assignments, you do whatever is saying there. Some assignments, and they are just reading. So you have to open a document and you have to read that, and that's it. I don't need a screenshot showing that you're actually reading. I trust you that you're reading. If you don't read, you might not be able to do the next assignment because you need to know that information. Okay? There is other assignments that you have to do something specific on our system. And in that one, sometimes you have to upload a screenshot, or there is kind of a little area that you can attach something in there. That's fine. But the, the most important thing that you need to do when you complete your assignment, it's go to the top and mark as done. Okay? So don't forget to mark as done to each one of your assignments. And well, let's not go there yet. So I wanted to show you an example of a situation. Let's see if the CBA for course, no, that's Korean, that's not me. 7 July, 7 July, maybe this one. I'm hoping someone didn't do their assignments. Well, you see here there was people missing assignments. Oh yes. Okay. Can you all see the screen here? Yeah, with a bunch of people and a bunch of assignments. Yeah?
Yeah,
Cool. Okay, pay attention what's going to happen. When you click mark as done, what I will see from my end, it's this that shows here turned in. And that's good. What I'm going to do next, it will scare you. So I will go here and I will click this button return. And once I click return, that becomes a tick. And then you are going to text me on WhatsApp saying, Bini, did I do something wrong? Why did you return my assignment? No, there's nothing wrong. Returning the assignment means I receive it, I saw that you did it, and I'm giving you back. It's like when you're in school and then you just do your assignments, your homework on a paper, and you give to the teacher receive it, review it, mark it, and give it back to you. Not necessarily something, there's nothing wrong with that. If there is something wrong, I will text you either through Google Classroom or a private text. But if you receive a notification saying your instructor has returned your assignment, that is good. Okay? Everybody got it? Okay, and I know I'm taking time on this situation because in fact I'm waiting for the first one who will put on Google on WhatsApp saying, why did you return my assignment? Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. So finally, um, if you haven't joined the Google Classroom yet, do it today. Okay, do it as soon as this meeting finish. I see that most of you are here, but apparently some are missing. If you have any problems, let me know. But it's it's crucial that you are in this classroom list, so you're going to get your assignments to go through this course together. Okay? Any questions before we keep going? No? No? All good? Alex? Good.
all great. Thank you.
It wasn't you, it was the other Alex. Sorry, I'm joking. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk very briefly about, as you can see in our agenda, we are going through a little bit about the education programs and then the program structure or mainly the delivery. Okay. Before we start with the actual information of the course, I want to clarify something. If you have an expectation that I'm here to teach you how to be a teacher or a better teacher or a better instructor, that is not going to happen. Oh, I thought this course was about this. Well, not necessarily. If you're here now, it's because you already have demonstrated to us and to me that you have your spot, that you know what you're doing. Of course, we can discuss eventually some information about your training skills, but this course that you're going through from today to the next 3 weeks, it's all about to engagement and relationship in between yourselves and us. Because from today, or once this course is finished, you're going to sign an agreement and you are becoming a partner of us somehow. And in this course, you need to learn how to maintain this relationship, mainly to do with your students and with us. So why this course? So this course is more like operations and expectations that we have for you and for this relationship. Okay? So I will be focused on these operations and expectations through the next 3 weeks. Deal? Okay. Um, when it comes to SEA, now, most of things that we do in SEA are related to education. So from pretty much everything that we do, from the 25 magazine, from the white paper, from research and outputs, events. In events, we run education, as you know. I hope most of you had a chance to attend at least one of our events. And as you probably aware, there is workshops going around, lectures. We have summits, sensory summit, green coffee summit. What else we have? The trade shows. So all of that is related to education. So we can say the SEA, it's mainly focused on education. In terms of a little of a history of where, and I'm gonna go really quick about that. Someone is not muted. Just a second there. Good. Okay. So I don't know if you are aware, you all look very young to me, so I'm not sure if you've been around enough to know that there was a time there was two organizations around, SEAA in America and SEAE in Europe. I'm coming from the SEAE background. Sorry, Mahmoud.
Yeah, I started my journey with the CAA. I started my journey in 2013 with Patrick O'Malley.
Oh, Patrick O'Malley, I know him. I actually just saw
Yeah,
him a couple of days ago. Great guy.
Alf Kramer and
Uh,
Patrick O'Malley.
yeah. Oh, I'm feeling old. No worries, I'm older than you. So, yes, some of you have a background from SEAA, like Mahmoud, and some of us have a background from SEAE. No matter your background, no matter your background, what happened, it was that about 8 years ago, the organization joined and they merged to create what we call today the SEA that you know. And the reason that I mention this is only because um, there was two completely different education programs and models. The running by SEAA, it was, even though it was covering kind of the same topics, but the model itself was different. And the ones from SEAE as well. Okay, so once they merged, the big task was to find the best way to take the good things from both and merge into one. So the program that you actually going to teach and deliver it to your students, it's a consequence of that merge. And it's a program that is constantly evolving. Okay, so I'm happy to be part of this process of the evolution of the program. And as you probably noticed recently, a lot of changes happening with SEA and our education programs, and it will keep it will keep changing and it will keep evolving and hopefully in the best direction for everyone. Okay. Um, our programs, they are certificate based. What does that mean? It's quite simple. You take a course, you go through the exams, sometimes practical and written, sometimes just written. And then once you pass those exams, you achieve your certificate. That's what is called certificate program. So our courses are certificate assessment-based certificate program. There's a reason I'm talking about that. Examples of our programs: coffee sustainability, coffee technicians, coffee skills program. Anyone here doing these AST course to teach sustainability? No? No. But I heard already about coffee technicians. Yeah. Okay. Well, these programs, they are certificate programs. Okay. The reason I'm making emphasis on the certificate, just listen, just tell me what you think about this phrase. I am an SCA certified barista. How does that sound? Have you heard that before? I
Yeah,
am
a lot.
a lot, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that that doesn't exist. No one is certified. No one is certified. Certified. I have an SCA barista certificate to a professional level or something, but I cannot call myself a certified barista because our programs does is not a certification program that gives you the license to call yourself a certified barista. I know it's a matter of it's a difference of three letters, certification and certificate, but they are not the same. So what I'm telling you all is to be very clear and do not create expectations to your students. They are not coming out from your courses becoming a SEA certified barista that they can actually put on their CVs and listen and is everywhere. The first thing they're gonna say, okay, yes, I'm gonna put on my CV, I am a certified SEA barista. No, that doesn't exist. Okay. The reason it doesn't exist because a certification, it's specific to a training course, includes an assessment. Okay, so sorry, a certificate, no certification. The certificate is specific for a training course. I took the barista course. I had to pass two assessments. I got my exam, I passed my exams, and I got my certificate. The certificate doesn't have an expiration. So my certificates from those times, I'm not gonna tell you, they are very old, but they don't have a date. Okay, so nothing there says this certificate is valid for this period to this period. No. The result, the person has a certification, they pass the course. That's it. This is what is going to happen to your students. Now, certification is not connected specific to a training. How come? Yes, no, it's not necessarily connected to a training. Some certifications you don't necessarily have to go through a course, like proper course, like you have to attend a class. Okay, it's more related to the professional proficiency and against the specific standards, and expires. So, can anyone here tell me what's the closest to a certification that we have? I'm saying expires. Do you think SCA has any sort of certification?
The
Carolina?
AST certification.
Would it be the Q Evolved part of
No,
that?
no, you're going
No.
too far. No, no, no. That's not even created yet. Sorry. Someone here mentioned the AST course. Yeah? Who was that? I didn't see you.
That was me here.
Alex. Yes, that's right. This course, this one that we are here right now. This is the closest of a certification because you will be able to call yourself, I am an authorized SCA trainer. I have this certification. You can actually put that on your CV, okay? Because you went through this process, you demonstrated your skills, you demonstrate your proficiency, professional, the require Sorry, just a second. There we go. And we are standing back behind your certification. So this AST course is the closest that we have to a certification and expires. So the license, well, until now, it was 3 years. With the new price model change, that might change to every year or depend on the bundle that you were going to pay or something like that. But let's say 3 years, your license expire. It does renew automatically. No, it doesn't. You have to go through a process again. Well, that process is much simpler. You don't have to come to my class again, thankfully for you. No, I'm joking. You don't have to go through these, but you do have to demonstrate your professional development through these 3 years in order for us to be able to allow you to renew your license. Okay? So that is the closest that we have to a certification. On a certificate program, our certificate program, most of the courses, they have what is called a live instruction, an exam, and a certificate. Okay, so these three things, they come together. The certificate is not optional, so make a note of that. Can you record the class and send over to your students like some organizations and companies do, so they can actually watch the video and then they just go through the exam afterwards? No, you can't. It's a requirement that you, no one else. Oh, but I have a really good assistant and he's amazing. He has a lot of skills. He knows his stuffs. Can he actually deliver the course in my place? And I will be kind of tipping in sometimes. No, it's you. Okay? No one else. Mohammed, you're laughing. So yes, no one else. No one else can. And believe me, I've seen that happening. I've seen so many things. I've seen that happening. No, you can't. So you have to deliver it a live instruction. Well, even though it's like a long distance, right now we are having a live instruction, correct? You're there, I'm here, but we are live. And that's enough. You could deliver some of our courses through like via online or distance learning, but live sessions. That is one requirement. Then the students will have to take the exams. Most of the time, you have practical tests and a written test. Written tests, mostly, they are online based. So students will get a link afterwards and they log in on that link on their own homes, their own places, on their own time, and then they go through this online exam. Once they pass both exams, they achieve the certificate. Oh, and then I have this student, he said, you know what, I just want to learn. I'm not interested in a certificate. Can we do a deal? Well, the answer is no. Once they are in the system, there's no way back. You're tied, and they are tied to this package. Okay, live instruction, exams, certificate. Okay, you can actually create your own little courses, and I'm not saying this is nothing to do with this class. And you can deliver some basics of espresso or whatever, but that's not an SCA course. That's not our certificate program courses. And that's fine, totally fine. But if you're running one of our certificate programs, once you log that information in the system, this is what's going to happen. Okay? Any questions before I go to the distribution model? Am I going too fast? It's all good. No, all good. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. All good here. Gonza, are you getting? Yeah. Okay. Who said that you don't speak English? don't get that.
Me defiendo.
Oh,
Entiendo
yeah.
algunas palabras
Oh,
sueltas.
okay. Okay. This is the moment. If you have something to say it before I keep going. No? Okay. Distribution model. What I'm going to talk about, it's actually what is going to happen. In the next coming weeks, you're going to be experience the life of an AST in terms of what to do and how to do. Okay? From today, you actually already have access to the portal in a different way. Before, on our SEA portal, maybe I could show you. Yeah, I can do that. So, no, yeah, that's the one. On the portal, before, you probably couldn't access this area. It's called trainer login. Can you all see the SCA website? Yes, okay. So before you're probably logging in as a member or as a student. Well, we are all members, okay? So different versions of members, but we are all members. The membership or accounts, let's say, they are free, but there is other accounts that they are not. But in the end, they're all members. Becoming an authorized trainer, you become a different type of member with different access. Okay, so once you go to trainer login, okay, accept all, you're gonna go and then you go into, I'm logging in as an AST because I used to be an AST for many years. Once you log in as a trainer, and if you have any issue with that, just log in normally, and you should be able to see on my AST portal that possibly didn't exist for you before. But now you have this section that is called My AST Portal. And no worries, because on the assignments that you're going to get, there is specific instructions on what to do and how to do it. But I just wanted to show you what to expect. Once you log in into the AST port, into our website in education, you will see now what is called My AST Portal. Okay, if you have any issues of seeing any of this information, you're probably not going to see what I see, but some of them, because as I said, from today, you have access, not fully access, you have partial access. You're not going to be able to access the models that you're going to teach. Like, for example, Truk, what's the model that you're going to teach? You're muted.
So, barista.
Barista. Okay. So,
Yes. Yes.
if you go to the portal, you are not going to be able to access any stuff from Barista. Not at all. Okay, no documents, no course materials, no anything. Only what we are allowed in you to do now for training purpose. Okay, so you will see on the instructions. So don't get surprised. Oh, I cannot see my model there. You will only be able to see your model in there once the course is finished. Once you have signed the agreement, the agreement has returned to us, and then my colleague Fiona, it will activate your full license. Okay, but for the moment, it's a partial license, just for the sake of training. Okay, so if you go to this portal, I can see, for example, my downloads, and if I go to my downloads, I will probably be able to see course materials, and in course materials, that is what I can see, pretty much everything. So, yes. So these will be kind of empty. I think you were able to see Introduction to Coffee. But no worries. This is something new for you, and you should get used to this area. Okay? So what is coming next in terms of what I'm going to discuss with you, it's how the system works in terms of you want to deliver a course, how you create the course, how you engage with the students, and let's go through all of that process together. Okay, so this is what I call the distribution model. Yeah. So first of all, you want to deliver a course. Let's say in this case, Truk wants to deliver barista course, barista foundation course. Yeah. So what you have to do, you go to the AST portal and you announce the course. The course, it will appear in a calendar. That is actually a great feature that we have because you know that in our website there is a function that says find a course or find a trainer. So, and then if a student is interested to take a course and with Truk specifically, and he will find you there and you will see all the courses that you're delivering. So there is kind of a calendar. At the same time, you probably advertising that course on your social media, on your website, or everywhere, correct? So that course, it's being advertised. Now, to be able to take this course, first of all, you create it on the system. So now the course is open to registrations, and you will see some different functionalities in there, if you make it public or not, how many students you accept. So you're going to train that on the assignments, how to do it. Yeah. So once you've done that, any student, as a student, they need to log in to register themselves on our website and create their membership. So as I said, there is different types of membership. The free ones, no costs. They simply have to put their information there, where they live, email address, create an account for free. Once they do that, the system will generate what is called the SEA number. We all have one, but these students, you will need to have an account with us and an SEA number in order for them to log in into your course, so to request to enroll in your course, to be accepted on your course, and then you to be able to accept this student in the course. And once the student go through the process and he's been marked pass or fail, let's say pass, the student will be able to find their certificate on their own portal, on their own profile. But everything is through our system. Okay. We went recently, I'm saying recently, let's say less than 2 years ago, to a massive change of systems. And today the system is working much, much better the way it was. It's much more friendly, more effective. So yes. So everything goes through the system. Okay. So as I said, you went and you create this course. The learner from one side is interested to take your course. So what happened? He will click on the course and say request to be accepted. You will get a notification. Let's say Danny wants to attend the course with Truk. So Truk will get a notification say, you have a student waiting for the approval or requesting to be accepted on the course. Mahmoud?
Yes, I'd like to ask about, sometimes you call the teacher himself and you say, I want to join a course with you, and you be the only one in the class.
Okay. Let me try to understand.
So,
You,
but
what happens if you're the only one in the class?
no,
No.
what I want to ask is, this teacher didn't open a course or something. He just contacted the teacher directly, and he's having the course without you going to a calendar or registering in any courses. How does that happen
No, it doesn't. So
then?
you can contact the court, you can contact the, so let's say You mentioned Patrick O'Malley, correct?
Yes.
So let's say you know Patrick O'Malley and he creates, and you met him or you contact him directly because you know him from the past. And you say, Patrick, are you running any course like in the near future? And he tells you, yes, I'm going to do a roasting intermediate course. Okay, we are good in that situation,
Okay.
yep?
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going to see
But
if let's keep going to
but
see if I understood.
yeah,
And then he wants to run that course with you, but it's, let's say, just you. Um, the only way that that course it will be an SEA, well, a CSP, Coffee Skills Program, roast intermediate course, like for real, is that if he creates the course in the system and he tells you this is the course code and go in the system and find this course and request to be accepted. Or I will include yourself to my course manually. But if
I
it's
think that's what
not,
happened with me.
yeah, but if it's
I
not
think that's
accept,
what happened with me.
yeah. So there is some courses, and this goes to everybody, okay? Very good point of yours. Thank you, Mahmoud. There is some courses when you have the option to make your course public or private. Sometimes you have, like in this situation here, Mahmoud, he knows the AST and the AST tells him, I'm going to run a course, but I want to do it private with you and just a few other people. So he will create the course and he will mark as private. Once he's marked as private, it won't show in the calendar, no matter how you try to find it. He, the EST, in this case here, Patrick O'Malley, is the only one who knows the code of that course. So that's to avoid to anyone else to join his course. Okay? So, and then he will collect your information and he will add you as a student to his course manually. And you can do that as well. And it's very common that to happen within an organization, within your own company, because you want to run private courses for your colleagues to bring their level up in terms of, roasting or whatever. So you actually go and you create this private course. It won't show in the calendar, but you can still go through the entire process as normal. Did I answer that question for you, Mahmoud?
Yes, yes, that's what I wanted to ask actually, because that what
Cool.
happened to me. I
Yeah,
just I
cool.
just gave my ID number to somebody, and he just registered me in the course without me knowing anything or registering anything. Yeah,
Well,
that's what I'm asking about. Thank you.
okay. Well, that's not one thing that I would advise you all, a lot of communication with your students. Okay, so do not accept any students, not because you're going to become an AST and you're going to start to publishing courses like crazy and then you start to accept everybody. Don't accept anyone without establishing at least one small conversation about what do you want, why do you want, because sometimes people just go there and click and then we create
Yeah,
invoices and they don't want to pay and then or maybe the time the location was wrong, the language was wrong, so always before accept any students on your course, send a quick email saying, hey, it's me, do you really want to join my course? Okay, so that is a piece of advice. I'm
thank you.
talking about my personal experience. So going back to the distribution model, once we have an agreement in between the learner and yourselves, we as the A wash our hands. No, it's not like that. Once the agreement is done, no, I'm kind of not joking. Somehow we respect that relationship in between you and your students. Okay? We are very respectful. There is a relationship in between you and your student, and there is a relationship in between you and us. There is some elements of this relationship that we get involved, but most of the relationship in between you and a student, we don't get involved. That's why I was saying, email your students, talk to them. Yeah. When it comes to prices, just to let you know, we don't give any guidance or guidelines in terms of how much should you charge for your course, because that's very difficult. That's very, it's such a unique situation because depends where you are, depends of the competition that you have around, depends of what other trainers are charging, depends of the course supply lists, how expensive it's to run that course or not. So there's so many variables related to that for us to tell you how much it would cost or how much should you charge. We can't. But no matter how much you charge, there is, from this shaking hands, from this agreement, from the moment that you click accept a student on your course, there will be a fee that needs to be paid. Okay? And this fee is administration fee to us. So in order for us to keep everything that is being happening, to keep the systems, to keep the list is long, there is a small fee for each course. There is two actually fees. One fee, it's called enrollment fee. Does anyone wants to ask something? No? No? Okay. Because someone has the, I think it's Elena. You're unmuted. Okay, so if there is no questions, I just, okay, second. Oh, okay, let's keep going. So the fee of enrollment, what does that mean? Well, is when you sign up for the course. Okay, as a student, you need to pay a fee. Not only, I'm not talking about what you charge for your course. I'm talking about the fee for that person who is signed up for your course. So that's called learner or enrollment fee. That's simply like that, enrollment fee. The enrollment fee can be paid, and you can make a note on that, by the learner or by you. Most of the cases, ASTs, they are charging one fee. For you to join my roasting intermediate course, I'm charging you 500 euros. That's expensive, yes, I'm expensive. So 500 euro to join my course. And am I mentioning anything about any fee? Administration fee? No, this is what it costs. Well, I know as a trainer that from that 500, I'm gonna have to take two little pieces. One is the course enrollment fee, and the other one is called service fee. As a trainer, I need to pay the same amount as a trainer. The same price for AST service. Oh, why is that in there? Sorry, there we go. Can you? Yeah, sorry. Am I back? Yay. Okay. Yeah. View lobby. Someone wants to join. Okay. So what did you miss when I was talking about service fee, AST fee? Yeah. Okay. So going back to course enrollment fee. When you are advertising your course, when you create the course on the system, you have two options. When it comes to course enrollment fee, it's going to ask you who pays that. Is the learner or you? if I'm charging 500 round for that course that I mentioned, I'm going to click me. If I'm charging 450, I'm going to click the learner. So the learner will pay that piece, okay? And the difference is that when you click accept to the learner, immediately either you or the learner are going to get an invoice. The course, it will not start. Well, it will start. You can create the course. You can accept the students. The invoice will be created, needs to be paid, hopefully before the end of the course, okay? At the same time, you're going to get another invoice for service fee. That depends on the amount of students you have in that class. And you're going to get the same fee for each one of the students. So for example, an introduction to coffee course, and let's pretend that we are not talking about price changing and zones and groups or everything. It costs $25 or euro for learner course enrollment and 25 for service fee. So 25 and 25. So it's 50 euro. So you have to have that in consideration. And depend of if you have 10 students, so multiply that by 10. Okay? But it's a flat rate. Both fees are the same, but depends who pay. Okay? Great. In order, and then you teach the course. And oh, that's it. We're almost there. So you teach the course. Great. You teach the course. Once the course is finished, in order for you to be able to go into the system and mark the students, I'll go with you in a second, Mahmoud. In order for you to be able to mark the student as pass or fail, the invoice needs to be paid. So you won't be able to mark the student if the course is not, the invoice is not paid. So the student will be, basically you cannot finish the course, okay? Now, we've done that before. So that, since when? I think it was February. It was a while ago. We've done these changes. It was in 2023, yeah. We've done these changes because what was happening, students were going to a class. I don't know if that ever happened to you. And then you take the exams, the written test. It was written on paper before. And then you take the practical test. And then you go home. And then you waiting and waiting. And your certificate never arrives by post. And you keep waiting and never arrives. And the reason that happened is because the AST never paid the invoice. And we never issued a certificate. Now, once the invoice is paid, once the student is marked pass, immediately the students have access to his certificate. And this is what we want. Okay? So we want to make the process clean, fast, and transparent. So that's why it's very important that for you, in order to start your course, get your invoices paid. Now, you're going to go through this process where you're going to practice through the assignments. Some assignments of the assignments will ask you to create a course. You will see how it works. And we are going to be discussing this in the next few sessions, okay? And again, I'm here for any questions that you might have in terms of your assignments or even in terms of this conversation that we are having right now. Yeah. So, but what you see there is the distribution model and all the process. And this is why this AST course, these sessions are so important. Because as I said at the beginning, for us, for you to learn to be able to work in conjunction or in partnership with us, you need to go through this process to understand how it works. Okay? Now I'm going to open the floor to anyone that might have a question. I know Mahmoud have another question. I'm joking. You can ask him any question you want. But, and then anyone else. Let's go with Mahmoud first.
I just wanted to ask you, like, is it better to let the trainee pay the money so you can have, let's say, more responsibility for the course and they will join the course, or if you, it's better that I pay these fees, which is 25 and 25 euros each trainee.
Oh, and it's really up to you, to be honest. We're kind of giving that space as kind of that freedom for you to decide. There is some benefits of that the students are paying their own fee, but there is also some others that you are actually managing the whole fee. Do you know what I mean? Because from the moment that you're managing, you have more control and you know that the fee is paid. But from the other hand, if the student is the one who has to pay that fee and he doesn't pay, he knows that he's not gonna get a certificate. This is actually his own responsibility. But sometimes it's also get confused to them. Why? Why I'm paying this fee if I'm paying the course? Why is not included? Do you know what I mean? So kind of in a personal opinion, I would keep it simple
Yeah,
and just tell them this is what it costs. Because they will come out with that question, why I'm paying two fees? I'm paying the course and I'm paying SCA. What's going on? It's okay?
yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
Very helpful.
Anyone else? No? Is that clear enough? Mohammed.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, the enrollment fee is fixed for different courses. Let's say what I understood is for introduction to coffee is $25 for service fee for
Mm-hmm.
us, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and 25 for the training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so what about the foundation
Yes.
course and the intermediate course? Yeah,
Thanks.
or
Thanks.
professional?
Thank you for your question. Yes. So we have pretty much kind of a flat rate for most of our courses. They are, let's keep it simple, okay? Because as I said, with the new price model change and the group zones that some countries to kind of, I don't know if you've seen the news and you visit our website. I recommend you all to visit our website and read about the price changes because right now the world is divided in zones for us and in terms to facilitate and to be accordingly to this economic situation to each different areas. Carolina is probably paying less than you are.
Yeah,
So
I already go through the
yeah.
new model.
So, but to answer your question, a few courses, it is 25-25, like CVA, like a cupping workshop. There is introduction to coffee, just a few. All the rest of them, no matter if it's foundation or intermediate or professional, it's 50-50. No, sorry,
Okay.
50 euros, not 50-50. 50 euros for course enrollment and 50 euros the service fee. But
And
again, depends of your zone.
yeah, and the service fees is multiple to the student participate in that.
All of them.
All
Exactly.
of
Exactly. So
like
all of them.
it's
For
10
each,
students.
yes, for each student you have one course enrollment fee. For each student you have one service fee. So if you have one or you have 10, just multiply that by 10. So that's why you need to be really careful on how you manage charging your students by when you want them to pay you. We're going to talk about that in a few future sessions, but it's very important for you to be able to manage how in advance you want them to have paid the course in order for you to not be taking their money from your pocket, unless you want to take the hit and you get the money back afterwards. Do you know what I mean? So have that in consideration because once you click the student accepted, the invoice is going to come out immediately, like boom, automatic. Okay? That button, that little button, creates an invoice, and that's simple. And delete an invoice for us, it's a big hassle. So It can be done, but it takes a lot of work.
So correct me if I'm wrong. What I understood is, let's say we have to be in a secure situation that we will get the money from the trainee
Yep.
and then accept their enrollment, right? Because say,
I would say so, or even half and half, or even something. You know what I mean? Like they can save their spot by paying an initial amount, for example. I don't know how you're going to charge, but I would, to be on the safe side, I would do that. I won't start accepting students immediately if it's not 110% that they are attending. So yes, I would be careful on that. If you can at least manage that they can give you kind of an initial payment to secure that spot, and then you can charge the rest afterwards. Okay?
yeah, clear. Thank you very much.
Alex?
Yes, thank you. Just a quick one. Is there a limitation on how many trainees we can enroll? And I
No,
know
there is
probably like,
no, you're the limitation. Sorry. You're, there is no limitation. There is recommendations. When you go through, for example, our course materials, and you will see some information about venue requirements or equipment requirements, you will realize that there is just so much you can do. Okay, and I've been in this situation before. You know that. You took a course with me. And but for example, when I run a barista course, a barista intermediate course in a barista camp many years ago, when I had 45 students sitting on my class, you're going to ask, how did you do that? Well, I just did that because I had 4 other ASTs helping me. I was the leader teacher. I was managing the whole thing. I was running the entire class. But when it comes to practices, when it comes to, there was more people helping. So, as I said, there is just so much you can do. Personally dependent of the equipment, the venue size, and again, you don't want to, it's all about customer service, it's all about quality. I rather have less than more and give a really good course so the students come out with a good experience, but not like people queuing in a coffee machine that is only one group and one steam head. Okay. So that's why I'm saying depends of your capacity.
okay, thank you.
No problem. Normally, you're talking about for one AST barista course, intermediate, professional, 4, 6, 8 max. Depend again
Yeah,
of the
our
depend of the
limitations for like
course.
more advanced courses are like 4.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm considering introduction to coffee something that is not as hands-on.
Then yes, I've run introduction to coffee for companies like 50 people sitting in a kind
Yeah,
of auditorium, and there is no drama with that because it's what the course is demanding. The course is actually not demanding much, so you can manage those situations. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any other question before I let you go? 7 minutes ahead. It wasn't too bad. Okay, we do have a question. You can start by pronouncing your name because I cannot pronounce that.
Yes, sorry, it's not a question. Just I missed the introduction probably in the beginning because maybe I cannot hear you well.
Oh, that's right. No problem. So just tell us how we pronounce your name, where
Yeah.
do you live, and what do you do?
My name is Phương.
Boom.
Phương.
Okay,
My
that's
name is.
easy.
I'm live in Vietnam and I'm working for a company that distributing coffee accessory and coffee machine and coffee equipment and running academy and cafe also. So that's the reason why I want to become a ASC. Not the purpose for the company. Just the main purpose is I want to help the young person in Vietnam when they come to the software industry.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you for my
Thank
bad.
you.
Sorry for me.
So I will let everybody go. In the next half an hour, expect a bunch of emails coming from Google Classroom. Don't get stressed. Go slow, one by one. If you have any questions, you can either send me a direct message by WhatsApp, or if you think it is relevant to the entire class, you can put on our chat. And otherwise, I will be here. And we are going to meet next week. Okay? So
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Thank
Have
you.
a good week. Thank you. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Good day. Bye-bye.